My boyfriend belonged to the untouchables among the capital's elite, with a family fortune worth tens of billions. To test me, he spent 7 years never buying me a single gift, never spending a cent on me. Even a stop at a convenience store for condoms had to be split down the middle. Then, my mother fell critically ill. I borrowed from every friend and relative I could, but I was still $2,000 short to cover the surgery fees. No matter how much I pleaded, he refused to lend me the money. I arranged my mother's funeral on my own. When I went back to pack my belongings, I accidentally found a list of gifts he had bought for the young woman next door. A private luxury estate, designer handbags, jewelry worth hundreds of millions. There was also a voice chat with his friend. Caleb, is it true Jessica actually humbled herself and begged you for $2,000? Caleb Brooks let out a low, amused laugh, his tone lazy and indifferent. Neve wasn't wrong. Anyone who goes around begging over $2,000, what else is she if not a gold digger? We've only been together 7 years and she's already trying to get money out of me. So that was the truth. 7 years of so-called testing, it seemed, had been sparked by nothing more than a few manipulative words from a young woman next door. However, it no longer mattered. The moment my mother passed away, I had already decided to leave him. I had just tucked the gift list away when the front door burst open. Caleb Brooks stumbled in, a little tipsy, and plopped down next to me. You were gone for a few days. I bet you thought you wouldn't come back. However, you missed me too much, didn't you? You just had to come back. He almost said out loud that I returned just to con him out of his money. Maybe he'd always seen me as just a girl after his cash. Without even glancing at him, I scooted away, avoiding the arm he tried to drape over me. He looked at his hand, then at me, confused. He figured I was just upset about the $2,000. I'm a little thirsty from all the drinking. Go fetch me some lemon soda, he said. He was always like that, bossy and dismissive, a typical spoiled rich kid. However, when he first pursued me 7 years ago, he pretended to be poor. He had me completely fooled. Jess, I've got nothing, and I can't promise you a future. However, we can work hard and make a good life together. I believed his honest face back then and agreed. I needed money, but I could get by on my own hard work. I was touched by his promise to work hard together. However, the longer we were together, the more I realized that he was not like everyone else. He would turn his nose up at anything cheap. He would make me do things that he could easily do himself. It all clicked when I saw him step out of a fancy car and into a swanky club, treated like a star. That was when I knew our relationship was built on lies. He was always afraid that I was just after his money. Caleb spoke up again, snapping me back to the present. If you need money in the future, just ask me. Don't use your mom's sickness as an excuse. You're not scared of getting what's coming to you, huh? His words seemed so silly to me now. I looked up at him with an icy stare. Would you actually give me the money if I asked? He paused, looking unsure for a moment. However then, as if proving a point, he gave me a mocking glance. Neve was right. You're only with me for my cash. He said that and sent me a transfer of $1.88 on his phone. The note with the transfer contained 2 words, gold digger. I had been with him for 7 whole years and had not spent a dime of his money. I even gave him gifts on holidays and anniversaries. He took them like he was entitled to them, but he never got me anything in return. He would mockingly ask if I thought it was a man's duty to buy gifts for his girlfriend. That was how he looked at me, a gold digger. After all, he was an heir with billions to his name. I thought about the gifts he had bought for Neve Smith. I thought about my mom, who had suffered so much from her illness and died in pain because we could not afford her treatment. I could not stand to be near him a second longer. I got up to leave, but then there was noise at the door. Neve came in, taking off her coat to reveal a sexy outfit underneath. However, when she saw me, she was startled and quickly put her coat back on. Jess, why are you here? I turned to Caleb. If I'm not mistaken, this is our place, isn't it? Do you give out the password to just anyone and allow them to waltz in whenever they want? Neve looked like I had accused her of the worst crime in the world. She dashed over and plopped down next to Caleb.